Hello, America and curling fans from Canada and New England. This is your host, Ryan Olson, bringing you the latest draw from the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, coming to you live from Coyotes Curling Club and presented by doubletakeout.com. We have our last draw of the night, the women's round robin draw featuring Team Julliard from Coyotes taking on Team Walsh from San Francisco Bay Area Curling. And let me fix the score here. The score is from the previous game. And it does appear that Julliard has the hammer by nature of throwing their rocks closer to the center of the house, or the pin as kids call it. There's two other games on the ice, and we'll definitely mention them as we progress. This appears to be the second stone coming from the lead for Team Walsh. And that would be Amy Verway Cohen. All right, rocks in play were underway. The other two games on the ice for this draw, and they're all women's games. On sheet B, we have Team Hashi from LA or Hollywood taking on Team Grohl from Coyotes. And then on sheet 4, we have Team Feldman from Wine Country taking on Team Blasky from San Francisco Bay Area Curling. So that is a Bay Area battle. Oh, no, a Northern California clash. People debate how close Sacramento is to San Francisco. And I'm not going to engage in that debate tonight. Next stone coming from Team Walsh. Lots of guards to start things off. It looks like this is going to wreck on the yellow. Maybe spill the guard into the top of the house. It's just a bit short. There is a pretty wide port or draw path to the house. I think Julliard is going to take advantage of that. I think they want to hopefully bury it a little bit under the guards, and it will get there. About 3/5 buried, perhaps. Looking at this head-on view, it looks to be about 2/5 buried. This is to be the final shot from Walsh's second. This is going to hang out a little bit, but actually it's curling in pretty nicely. It's going to kiss the red, push the red a little bit further under cover, so now that red is pretty well buried. And that was the second Megan Armstrong. Looking at the net routes coming from the Coyotes team. I think they're just looking to put another win, and this is going to be a bit heavy. It's actually curling. It's finishing really well. So we've seen the ice does curl pretty nicely, about 4 feet, 4 feet plus. The ice is a little slower than what we would consider normal for the club, but it's still really good. And I've been told, I haven't really seen it, but there's some pretty tricky lines out on the ice where it might, if it gets stuck on that line, it's hard for teams to adjust. So as we watch this game, maybe keep an eye out for that. So Walsh's next rock. This is on the money, and it's on the button, settling into the back of the button, touching the 4-foot area, not the ring though.
Okay, yeah.
Again, the Coyotes team has a hammer. I think looking to try and capitalize on there's not going to be a blank this end unless something weird happens. But they seem to have found that draw path pretty nicely. This rock is going to tap the yellow back, and it's now Julliard with the shot stone. Sweepers are just walking, and now they're digging in. And this just nudges the red and rolls right. It looks like the shot stone is still red, although yellow is definitely making its presence felt. And again, following that draw path, this draw path is probably going to get faster as they keep throwing rocks down it. Oh, and that could have, I think that's a bit of a miss because it does knock the rocks further back to the back of the house. But I think it may have made the Walsh stone shot. So they're looking at the situation here as we come to skip stones. Walsh makes her way down the ice, and they are going to do that draw again. There's a bit of a pocket now, so they could draw in and sit in between the red and yellow from this view. It'd be really hard to get rid of both yellows, and at the very least, it'd make it extremely difficult for the Coyotes team to score 2 points or more. So sweepers are digging in, looking to hold the line. Looks like the weight's pretty good. And it looks like they're going right for that pocket I mentioned. And it does kiss both the red and the yellow. And it looks like it could be Walsh sitting 2 right now. There's not a double. Throwing high heat into that mess is probably not going to have a super positive outcome for the Coyotes team. So we have another great crowd in the warm room. They're, I think, enjoying each other's company and the great play that we're seeing on the ice. And the first of two skip stones is underway from the team holding the hammer. I think they want to kind of slap that red in the house and slap it towards the button. They don't want to hit on the nose. They want to hit it on the side. They do kind of hit it more on the nose. And I don't think it necessarily improved the situation too much. Looking at the overhead view, it's Walsh maybe one, then the Coyotes team with the second shot, or it could be the other way around. There's a second Walsh yellow that I'm pretty sure is third. So Walsh is looking over the situation. I think really kind of seeing what she could do to secure her advantage here. She could hit the Reds and get them both moving out of the way. I think when you look at this overhead view, I don't think you get both of the Reds moving. Now that I look at the angles. And so that's probably a bad call. It looks like they're just trying to draw in, maybe a guard. This is a very, very messy end here to start things off. And here is Walsh's last, without the hammer in the first. I think just looking to kind of block the path. The line or the path of the stone is the most important part. If it's short, I don't think it's too bad. Although a little upweight, I think they do want to maybe hit the yellow closer to the button. And yeah, wow, it's very messy. But it's definitely Walsh sitting one. I still think the Coyotes team is second, but it could be Walsh with the second shot. It might come down to a measurement. And I think they'd want to hit one of the Reds towards the yellow to maybe move it out of the way. Oh, she's throwing it away. So, yeah, she grabbed her gripper and started back down the ice to get set up. So it's at least one or two for Walsh. There's not going to be a measurement, so the team knows what the score is going to be. And we're going to find out what it is when we come back to the 2023 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, live from Coyotes Curling Club. And again, just a friendly reminder that this year's Club Playdowns is presented by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is a stat lover's paradise for curling, where each week Ken Pomeroy during the competitive season crunches the numbers to analyze the teams and come up with a comprehensive and thorough team ranking, one of the best in the world. You can see how well teams convert the hammer, how well they steal, and vice versa, how they match up against the other teams, and that's all on DoubleTakeout.com. Welcome back to the evening draw, some MoPac After Dark. As we see ongoing women's round robin play. We have Rocks in play. We're underway. It looks like Walsh is sitting one just on the back button there. And it looks like Walsh just did get the one. It was a steal. And that means Julliard has the hammer for the second strike end. And it looks like Walsh was able to put another one in. So now it's Walsh sitting two. There's a double there if Julliard wanted to take it on. This appears to be coming from Julliard's second, Aaron Evans. And I do see a Julliard red rock in the back 12 foot, kind of back where the skip is lowered toward the ice. This is going to be a little heavy. It's going to kiss off the yellow. And Julliard is able to sweep it to the back 12, but stays in the house. The shooter rolls out of the house, out of play. I taught a corporate event this week. And someone was asking, when you take the rocks out of play, do you lose that rock for the rest of the game entirely? And it kind of, I thought it was a bit funny just because you do need 8 rocks for the most part to play the 4-person game. And so thankfully, when you do lose a rock for a foul or it's short or it goes out of play, it's put away so it can be used when we go back to the other direction. So another good draw from Team Walsh. This is the last rock coming from Ms. Evans. She's been curling for 2 years. She likes travel, cookies, and team trivia. She dislikes most fruit. And this is going to be a good topic for the game. Her favorite sparkle color is silver. Let's see what sort of razzle-dazzle she has with his shot. It's going to get rid of one of the yellows. Is it going to do 2? Just 1. So again, it's Walsh sitting the 2. Julliard with the 1 in the back. And this is the first of the third stones. This is Kimberly Chapin. Or Chapin. She's got a pretty solid resume, including appearing at club national championships 5 times starting in 2012 and through last year. She was also a participant at the Arena National Championships, winning silver in 2012, bronze in 2013, and gold in 14 and 15. So now we're looking at third stones. This is coming from Olivia Andre. She's been curling for 4 years, likes cats, crafts, and curling. Her favorite sparkle color is lime green. It's also my favorite Jell-O flavor, so it's a coincidence. I think they were looking to do a takeout weight. And it's going to settle on the red that was in the back. It's going to get the red in the back out. Jam, and the shooter's going to stick around. So Walsh is looking to kind of park another yellow in the front center of the house, which is usually a good location if you don't have the hammer. If you don't have the hammer, you want to kind of guard or protect or utilize the front center of the house because it makes it harder for the other team to get to the center of the house to score. Weight looks pretty good. Now the sweepers are on it. I think it might be coming up just a smidge light. Sweepers are finishing it, but it's going to be a really solid for second shot. So I do believe that Walsh is sitting 3. There is that yellow that's in the back left side, but it is out counting the red that is in the back 12-foot. Cats, crafts, and curling. So it looks like they're trying to draw around, but this is over curling. It does make contact with the yellow. It does roll off of it and out count that second shot. So I think that would be a good draw for the most part for Team Julliard. It is, I think, exposed. So Walsh can make a play on it. Walsh has a game plan in mind. It looks like they're going to draw. I think maybe just guard. And again, this is going to be a slightly tough situation because if it overcurls or if it's too wide, then Julliard has the advantage, I think. So Chapin has the broom down for skip Sarah Walsh. She's also been to 5 club national championships and also a participant at the Arena Nationals. Kind of the same record as Kimberly. 2012, 2013, 14, 15. And this was I think this is supposed to be a guard. And it looks like a great guard. That's what you want from the skip. Just while Julliard is talking about the shot, introduce the coach for Team Walsh. It's Eric Chiarella Jansen. According to the bio, he did some stuff as a junior. I imagine it's a junior curler. He has a high tolerance for shenanigans, and there is a photo of him in the bio, which makes him appear to be a bit of a ragamuffin, as it were. So Julliard kind of looking to see what they can do to help their situation here. And that center path is pretty blocked. They could draw it to the 4-foot on the right side, but it won't get them shot because that yellow wall stone's like right on the button. So it looks like Julliard's opting to clear the guards. Maybe do a double run back. We'll have to see what she has in mind. Looks like they are going to go for the... I think they're going to do the run back. It's past the guard. It's on 1. It's on 2. Oh, and it's past the shot stone. Oh, and this is a disaster, unfortunately. It takes that second stone and pushes it to the back 12-foot. And now it appears that Walsh is sitting 4. Past the guard. It's on 1. It's on 2. Oh, and it's past the shot stone. Oh, and this is a disaster, unfortunately. So just to catch the replay, not my sterling commentary. So Walsh now is holding the high ground, just like Obi-Wan Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith. everyone's favorite Star Wars movie. Although I don't imagine anyone yelling, "You were the chosen one" at any point during this game, but it's hard to say. Well, I'll say it. You were the chosen one. That movie. I think it was the best of the prequels, and that's all I'll say about it. Here's the last route coming from Walsh. This looks to be coming up a little light. I think if it gets over the hog line, they're just going to let it go. And they do. So it does block off that draw path on the right side. They're not. So Julliard's not looking at the left right now. I mean, if they attack it from the left, they can at least hopefully maybe draw to the 8-foot and hold Walsh to 1. And now they're looking at it. Yeah, the left side from this view is just all blocked off. I mean, you could try and maybe make a play on that red on the left side, kind of angle it towards the center, but there's a lot of traffic and a lot of ways that could go wrong. So it looks like they're looking to draw. I think at best they can draw to the 8-foot, touching the 4-foot. Not enough for shot, but really to hold Walsh to that single point and keep the game close. So this is a high pressure shot for the skip. She's been curling since 2007 at Coyotes. She loves card games, hiking, and coffee. Her favorite sparkle color is blue. Let's see if she'll be blue after this shot. It's coming up a little heavy. Oh, way heavy, unfortunately. And that's going to be a steal of 4 for Team Walsh. Julliard will carry the hammer to the third end when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. And we're back to our coverage from the Coyotes Curling Club. Let's go around the rings as the lead for Team Walsh throws her first stone, Amy Verway-Cohen. Just really quickly to let you guys know, she was first introduced to curling by her parents, who founded the Columbus Curling Club. At 13 years, she started taking curling more seriously and joined the juniors league at the club. It looks like she's putting up a guard. All right. So going around the rings on sheet number B, we have Team Hashi playing the Red Rocks from Hollywood Curling. Stole 3 in the first against Team Grow from Coyotes. Grow was held to 1 with hammer in the second, so that means Hashi is carrying the hammer in the third end. Sheet C is our feature sheet. Again, it's been all Walsh thus far, 5-0. Walsh over Julliard. And then on sheet D, we have Team Feldman of One Country taking on Team Blasty from San Francisco. And they've traded singles back and forth. It's 1-1 in the third. Blasty is holding the hammer. So some more information about Amy. In high school, she played in the Ladies League and was part of a team for the U18 Junior Nationals. Her team qualified for the U18 Nationals twice in 17 and 18, but she only went to Nationals with her team in 17. Last year, she moved to the San Francisco Bay Area from Columbus for her job and is in her second season as a member of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. And that's another guard. Next stone coming from the person throwing first for Julliard. That's Cassie Endicott. She's been curling for a long time. She loves gardening, board games, and reading. Her favorite sparkle color is purple. And I think she is holding the broom for Julliard when the skip throws her stones. So it looks like another corner guard was put up by Julliard, and Walsh is looking to maybe trying to draw in around the center guards. And as you see that right now, there is a center guard on the center line. It's a good reminder that we are playing with the no-tick rule at this event. It's a relatively new rule where for the first 5 rocks to the end, an opponent cannot move a center line rock or a rock on the center line or push it into the house until after the 5th rock to the end. If the rock is moved off of the center line, the offending stone is taken out of play, and the original stone is reset. And this looks like a really good draw there. That was a great draw from the second for Team Walsh. That's Megan Armstrong. She started curling at 8 years old, hailing from Calgary, Alberta. Now we're seeing Aaron Evans, the second for Julliard. And I think she's going to get 1 rock, and the shooter's going to roll to the wing, not in the house, kind of helping to kind of block more paths into the house. And so I think Walsh is going to try and put the guard back up. Megan Armstrong, she when she started curling at 8 in Calgary, she used duct tape as a slider stuck to the bottom of her runner. She's taken part in numerous bond spills across southern Alberta in small towns and big cities. And looks like this is going to tap the shot stone further back towards the button. There's, I think, a very slender port for the shot stone. And Julliard is just going to kind of attack that top stone at the top of the house and roll under cover. With Aaron's second stone here. Looking for a bit of a roll. This is going to be more of a nose hit, maybe a roll to the right. It does roll under cover, just the opposite way than was called. That's a good outcome. One of the other women's teams has a coach, and the coach is doing some encouragement from behind the glass, from some distance away. I really, really doubt that the team could hear him. So Walsh is, I think, looking to put up a guard or draw right to the shot stone. This is going to be more of a guard. It could also over curl. And it is a guard. It is blocking the shot stone. About 80% covered. You can see the edge of it. Just like that Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt film, Edge of Tomorrow, which is based on curling. So this is Olivia throwing third rocks again. I think they're just looking to open up the front of the house. Just gonna peel the yellow. This could jam. Actually, ooh, that worked out really well for Julliard. Tapped the yellow onto the red. The red kind of skittered towards the button. And so now it is Julliard sitting 1 with Walsh sitting 2 and 3. So Walsh, I think, is looking to maybe go through the port that's in the top, or maybe to guard it. Walsh does have a little bit of house money, so if she holds Julliard to a single point, that would be a good outcome. And this is going to be a guard. I think it's going to wick off the red and roll back towards the center. So again, we got a rocket Gibraltar developing in front of the house. There still is a bit of a port. I don't know how Julliard would be able to use it though. She was looking for some weight. I think looking to shoot the port. I think just to maybe hit the yellow out of the way. It looks like it's going to be through the port. Oh, wow, what a beautiful shot there. Good job, Olivia Andre, hitting the Walsh stone out, and is now Julliard sitting 2. So now all that clutter in front of the house is not helping Walsh. She really can't throw a lot of weight down the port to do anything. She could maybe draw through the ports, hit the red, and then kind of roll under the cover, if that is a possibility. It's a pretty narrow port. I was also thinking that when you look at it from this over-the-shoulder view, the left is a port there. She could draw in just to kind of narrow the scoring area a little bit. Some other notable facts about Sarah Walsh is that she she went to the Pacific International Cup in 2015 and 2016, winning silver both times in the international pool. And the shots away, looking to draw the port. This is going to be pretty tight. I think it's going to wreck on the yellow. And now that door is pretty well closed. So now Julliard's looking at that left side of the sheet, looking to draw in. Probably just put one in the top 12, top 8. Hoping to out-count the yellow that's on the right side of the house, but not so deep that Walsh can draw to it. So the draw shot's away. First the 2 skip stones with the hammer here, Team Julliard. This is going to be a little wide and a little heavy, so they're going to use it to tap the red. And then Team Walsh jumps on it and sweeps it through the house, out of the premises, like a bouncer at a Tempe nightclub, which I've never been to, but I've not even heard things about. But I imagine it's a nightclub. in Tempe with bouncers. I mean, the story writes itself. All right, so Julliard drew the left side of the sheet, but Walsh is looking on the right side. They're looking to hit the yellow that Walsh had the broom on and kind of angle it back towards the center of the house. This is a dangerous shot for a couple reasons. First of all, the target zone isn't too big. It's not narrow. It's not super small, but it's not like wide open. However, if the shot is made, it does open things up for Julliard to make a shot for her last. So Walsh's shot is away. Looking to raise the yellow on the right. It's just a little bit wide. Now it's coming in. And they're going to finish it. And it's going to be good enough for second shot. So that was a good delivery there from Sarah Walsh. However, it does open the port for Julliard to draw for a possible second point. To score the second point, though, Julliard's going to need to be touching the 4-foot ring, which is the ring that is dominated by the star seen in the Arizona State flag. And needs a piece of the 4-foot for 2. Looks like a really smooth delivery. Is the weight there? The weight's pretty good. Is the line there? It's past the guard. It's going to tap the red, the second red that was in the house, closer to the 4-foot. And she does get that 2 points, a very critical 2 points to get on the board. And that means Walsh's lead is cut to 5-2. And we'll see what Walsh can do with the hammer when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. And welcome back to the 2023-2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns, coming to you live from Coyotes Curling Club. It's been a very welcoming environment. I've been very thankful to be here. Everyone's very warm and welcoming. Definitely appreciate the hospitality and the dedication of the volunteers throughout this 5-day event. The men's event started yesterday and will conclude Saturday night. The women's event started today and will finish Sunday afternoon. The winners will win a berth at the U.S. National Club Championships. And if you are fortunate enough and skilled enough to win the national event, there's a new golden ticket that was just announced. There's going to be a two-nation championship between Canada and the United States, as the club champions from each nation will face off on CBS Sports Network. And that's coming in the spring. That's the spring. Not a lot of details have been announced so far, but we're looking forward to seeing what form this event will take. I hope it's a dance competition, and no one listens to my recommendation for a dance competition. So this shot for Team Julliard is coming down the way, looking to draw around the center guard there. And it's going to be around the center guard. It's going to sit on top of the Walsh yellow, push the Walsh yellow to the back 4 foot, and Julliard is sitting shot. Next route coming for Team Walsh, Amy. Some of her curling accomplishments include qualifying for the U18 Junior Nationals in 17-18. She also represented the Great Lakes Curling Association at the U18 Junior Nationals and represented MoPac at Club Nationals last year. That's a pretty nice shot there. Pushing the Julliard red back, and it is now Walsh sitting 1 and 3, and Julliard sitting the second shot. Aaron Evans is first shots away. I think looking to hit the yellow Walsh rock. It's going to kiss the Walsh yellow and push it back to the button. So Walsh is pretty secure now as a shot stone. There's a space in the front of the button for for Julliard to put another rock. But it looks like Walsh wants Megan Armstrong to peel the guard. Megan's biggest claim to fame is the purple shiny tracksuit she wore as a junior competitive curler. As an adult curler, her style isn't as loud, but her volume when calling the line is. And the peel is successful. So there's no center guard now, and I think Julliard is going to take advantage of that by drawing on top of the Walsh stone. I think hoping to be shot, but at the very least holding Walsh to 1. But the stone is over curling a little bit. It's actually going to touch one of theirs. So now Walsh is looking to put a yellow of her own, a yellow stone of her own in front of their shot stone. And let's see how the line is for Megan Armstrong. It's a pretty strong crowd in the warm room. This line does look pretty good. It might finish hard, so it might wick off of the red. And I think it does wick off the red and rolls in front of the yellow shot stone. So now there's a double if Julliard would like to take it on. Hit the top yellow. And I'm using the overhead. If you hit the top yellow, I think close to nose, like right on the center, I think you'll run it straight back on top of the other yellow and get them both moving out of the way. So this is Olivia's first, I believe, or her second. Yeah, we'll see. It's over curling, so it's going to actually, I think, make contact with hers first and then roll over on top of the yellow. Gets rid of one red, gets rid of one yellow. So this appears to be the first stone now for Kimberly Chapin. So Julliard seems to be doing a pretty good job of controlling the front of the house and narrowing the scoring area. It looks like Walsh is kind of looking to draw to the narrow target zone that's been established. The sweepers are really pounding the ice in front of the rock there. And this is going to over curl and be a little short. And that could be what they wanted, because it does appear to guard the run back, preventing Julliard from just basically throwing a fast rock, a speedy rock down the ice to run the red onto the yellow. And so now it looks like Olivia is being asked to do the draw. I think to draw into the pocket there. And this is over curling. It may have picked, perhaps, because it's really going sideways. The ice does swing, but I don't think it swings that much. And Julliard was trying to save something out of that rock by burying it as deep as they could. And it's still kind of a 2 or 3 guard, kind of in between the second and third thirds of the guard zone. And so now Walsh is going to try the draw again. Well, this one's wide. Let's see how it finishes. There it goes, right there, just past the hog line. How is it going to finish? I don't think it's going to come back enough. And it just, it actually finishes fairly well. Although it does offer, again, a target for Walsh to attack. Because that yellow is just put in is open to being hit by a Julliard red rock. I think that's what they want to do. I think they want to do takeout weights. I think they're going to get 1 yellow going away. However, there is a potential for disaster, because if the yellow goes onto the red, well, I think it's going to get rid of 1 of the yellows. So I think there's still a silver lining. Looking for some dynamite here from Lindsay Julliard. Needs to curl up a bit. As it is, it might be smacking it on the side. And so it does get rid of 1 yellow. The first yellow did jam on the red. And now it does kind of open things up for Walsh to kind of draw to. It's not a very wide gap, but the gap is there. And if she could fit it right into that gap, yellow would be sitting 2, and Julliard could really, I don't think she could maybe get 1, but not both, I believe. Here we go, looking for the draw. Sarah Walsh with her first 2 skip stones. And there's the curl. It needs to curl over about another 1.5 foot. Oh, it's really swinging in. And that is, it does kind of clip off of the red. So not quite perfect. But it does appear to be good for second. But it's a very near thing. So now the question is, what does Julliard want to do? They're looking it over. I think they're looking at drawing to the port. It's not a port, pardon me. Going on the right side, seeing where the broom is set. I think they're looking to maybe tap one of the reds closer to the button. This is her last shot. So there's a chance here that she could give up 2. I don't think she can give up more than 2 unless something weird happens, but we'll see. I think looking for a little bit of weight. I don't know if she wants to hit the yellow first. Do a yellow onto red run back. Sweepers are going. It's pretty close. It's going to hit the red, yellow onto red. Oh, wow. There's some oohs and ahs from the warm room crowd. Let's take another look at that. So just a good angle there. And soft weight. You don't need you need the right amount of weight. Some people want to throw a missile at it when it's not necessary. That was a good weight, just enough force needed to get the job done, and then making the shot. So now Walsh is sitting shots 2 and 3 while Julliard is sitting shot stone. And I think, obviously Julliard is trying to think about how they're going to approach this. I think they're looking to draw. I'm not quite sure what the draw does here. I don't think the gap is big enough to draw to or draw through. That yellow is pretty well secure unless you can attack it from the right from this view. But the angles don't look to be set up very well for Team Walsh. So let's see what Sarah Walsh has in mind for her last. The hammer, skip stone in the 4th. This is over curling, I think. I think it might make contact with the red. It does. So it is a steal of 1. And Team Julliard draws ever so closer to Team Walsh as we enter the 4th end break. It's halftime here, and our halftime show are sword eaters. They've been traveling hundreds of thousands of miles, and now they're back to do their halftime show here on our ice. You unfortunately won't be able to see it for copyright reasons, but it's going to be brilliant. I'll just tell you all about it later. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns. And just another reminder that this event is brought to you presented by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com, proprietor and head statistician Ken Pomeroy has launched a new Substack newsletter where he breaks down some of his thoughts on how he compiles and computes the statistical information of the top curling teams in the world. You can find that all on doubletakeout.com. So we're going to take a break with the rest of the team. We'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes, and we'll see you then. Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the MoPac After Dark draw of the women's round robin competition. Our feature sheet includes Team Julliard of Coyotes taking on Team Walsh of San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Julliard just stole a point. fairly sure the score's not posted yet. And it looks like it's going to be a center guard. And Walsh is looking to respond by putting up a corner guard of her own. According to my tally, it's Walsh leading 5-3. Walsh has a hammer in the 5th end of a possible 8 ends of regulation. If the game is tied at the end of regulation, there is going to be a tiebreaker extra end. And it looks like the corner dart is successful. So this is our last game tonight, but we have quadruple headers lined up for both Friday and Saturday, starting at 9 a.m. The crowd's going wild for something to happen on sheet D. I wonder if they're done. We will definitely find out in just a moment. As the Nets Julliard Stone comes into the playing area and crosses the center line. So 2 center guards, but not on the center line. So our coverage starts tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with a game featuring Team Barajas and Team McBride from Southern California. This should be a good contest. Coming up at noon, we have Team Grove taking on Team Feldman. At 4 o'clock, we are going to see Team Burns and Peterson. They're separate teams. And the nightcap, we might move it around, so we'll leave that open. There's 3 women's games. There's also a potential men's tiebreaker, depending on how the men's pool play concludes. So we'll keep that open. But we have lots of games on tap, and hopefully you guys will be here throughout the weekend to see who will be our region's representatives to the national championship. So Walsh came into the house. It looks like Julliard was trying to take out the Walsh rock, and is going to make contact. Julliard sweeps the Walsh stone to the back, 8 foot. Walsh is still shot, but that was, I don't know if you believe in luck, but that was pretty much luck. So sheet D is not done with the game. They were just doing their 4th end break. The head ice official was having them sign something, so I was just curious about what that was. So Team Walsh's Nets Rock is underway. I think looking to chip the red. The shooter's going to roll out of play through the house. So it's a pretty open house. And Julliard's looking to draw. This line looks pretty good. It's going to get around those center guards. And it's going to settle in the top of the house. Fairly well covered. And so now Walsh is looking to, I think, clear the guards. So on sheet D, the skip for Team Blasky was maybe a little, her foot motion was a little off. We'll see what happens with her situation. And the goal for Team Walsh is to clear one of the guards, and it does clear one of the guards, clears 2 of the guards. The shooter rolls into the house. So now let's see what Julliard has in mind for their teams next. I think they're looking to just take out one of the Walsh yellows. It's going to actually hit the yellow on the top right. It's only going to kiss it though. The Julliard red shooter rolls to the left wing there, to the left edge of the 8-foot. So the shot stone is more open. I don't know if it's fully open. And it doesn't look like it from this view. It's about probably 4/5 open. They can probably see a lot of it. And this is the first of the third rots coming from Kimberly Chapin. Throwing some hack weight, it appears. Hits and rolls towards the center. So a good outcome, but it does open up a possible double. It's a pretty long. It's not a long double. It's a not short, but it's not. So it's not a gimme, but I think it's makeable. Julliard, I think, will be happy to get rid of just one. If they get rid of both, that's just a bonus. So got one. Jams on the other yellow. The second yellow goes through the house, out of play. So Walsh, I think, is looking to just draw and put another one in. They're sitting shot stone right now. As Kimberly makes her net shot. Oh, actually, they're going to make a play on the Reds on the left side. It's one, and then the yellow rolls over to the shot stone and jams. And so now it's Julliard sitting shot stone buried on the edge of the 4-foot. So I don't think that's the outcome that Walsh wanted. So Julliard has the broom down, pushing out a hack. Throwing up weight, so I think just looking to get rid of the other yellow Walsh rock that's in the house. This is not, I think, getting over enough. That might be one of the lines that's causing some people some problems. And I've seen it happen a couple times where people try to throw up weight and expecting the rock will break, and it does not. So now the opportunity is there for Walsh to maybe open things up to get a second rock in. At least move some stuff around to get yellow to scoring position. So when you look at it from this head-on view, that one of the red's counters is pretty open. So let's see if Sarah Walsh can get to it. Just going to hit the red guard. Oh no, goodness gracious. It jams on the yellow in the house, and so now Julliard is sitting 3. Just definitely a tragic miss there. On a positive note for Walsh, the center is pretty open, and so there is a couple of different paths for attack for Walsh to hopefully get at least 1 point out of this, or to get 1 point out of this. There's no... I never say never, but the odds of getting more than 1 point out of this end for Team Walsh are pretty small. And I think Julliard wants to put her rock in a place where Walsh will be kind of stymied to get to the center of the house. And this is going to be a little deep. So unfortunately, this actually gives Walsh an opportunity to get that single point. So if Walsh basically follows Julliard down that same path, Walsh will get 1. The downside is if Walsh is a little heavy, it could kind of impact the red and roll to a different part of the house beyond where those 3 or 4 reds are already. The other downside is if she's light, she's not going to get there. It's not going to count. And then also the line's important because there's a target area that's now about 14 inches wide. So this is a shot that Walsh definitely needs to make. Facing 3, facing 4. Sarah Walsh with her last here in the 5th. Weight looks pretty good. Is the line there? Sweepers are now off it. I think hoping it's going to curl a little bit more. Now they're trying to coach it over, and it's just enough for 1. So that's a 5-point swing there. If Walsh had missed, that would have been disastrous for that team. So when we come back, it's going to be Walsh 6, Julliard 3 when we return to the MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. The first rock coming from Team Julliard, that's Cassie Endicott. And looking to put up a corner dart. It's tied into a fairly interesting game between Team Walsh and Team Julliard. Walsh was able to take 4 points in the second end, combined it with a single in the first to take a 5-0 lead, and since then Julliard has been able to kind of claw her way back into this game. So we see the second stone coming from Amy Veraway Cohen. And looking to go, I think, a little closer to the tee line. And it's going to just bite the edge of the button or just shorts. It's pretty bitey if you ask me. And as I say, it takes one to know one.
I heard that too.
This is Cassie's second shot here. Let's throw maybe a little bit more weight. I think looking to maybe move one of the yellows out of the way. Weight is up, but is it on target? There's the curl starting to go. I think it's going to clip one of the yellows, and it does. The shooter is going to roll through the house. It does not spin back, and it's just a skinny Frankfurter away from the house. It's a Vienna sausage away from the house, which is a common unit of measurements. Vienna sausages, so which I've not had in like 20 plus years. So anyway, next sound coming from Megan Armstrong. So some of Megan's curling highlights include attending the Canadian Medical Bonspiel, finishing as the A event runner-up in 2018. This is going to go a little deep, and Julia is going to escort it through the back. And it hangs around by the hair of its chinny chin chin. And so now Julliard is asking Aaron to, I think, hit the yellow that is shot stone. No, based on the weight, though, I may be trying to draw around the corner guard that was put up. And that seems to be the case. It's going to draw around. There's the break in the curl, and now it just starts going sideways. But it's enough to get around that corner guard and is pretty buried. So Walsh is looking to guard her shots. Her second.
John, we have a measure.
Julliard is actually shot now. That was a good shot.
Got a measure.
So apparently there's going to be a measure on sheet D. Just based on the yelling that's going around. And maybe the laughter as well. So some other highlights. Megan was a participant at the Alberta Travelers Championship, which was the old name for the Canadian Curling Club Championships for Playdowns. And this is going to go a little deep again, and it's going to hang again on the back 12. So 2 shots that, if they were a little higher, could have been pretty usable. As it is, it's providing some backstops for Julliard. We have a pretty lively audience here in the warm room today. So this rock ends up putting a red in the 8-foot on the right side.
Which you're not, which is okay. So basically, you should ask the team.
Now Walsh is dialing up some weight. Let's see what sort of rock she's going to get moving. I think she's going to get the red out of play, and the shooter's going to roll. Is it going to sit down in time? And it does. That's a really solid hit and roll there from Team Walsh. That'd be Kimberly, her first. So now we're going to see what Olivia Andre has in mind. I think looking to draw through the court and hit the yellow that was just put into the back 8. Throwing a little bit up weight, but now they need to hold it straight. It's over curling. I think it's going to hit the red shots. Oh no! Past the red. That was a bonzer shot there. So a decent number of rocks in play. It is Julliard sitting first and third, but Walsh is second, fourth, and fifth. As Kimberly makes her second shot here. And I think just looking to hopefully guard the stone, or maybe come in, but it's not much of a guard, and it didn't curl and go as deep as I think they could have been looking for if that was the goal. Last rock coming from Olivia. I think looking to hit the yellow, but I think Julliard's kind of encouraging. I think trying to hold it straight. I think it's going to hit the yellow on the left. It does. Oh, it gets both yellows moving. Ah, goodness. Just some unlucky second contacts or second hits there. It pushes the yellow to the back of the 8-foot, enough to be shot. Most likely. Looking at the overhead, it's not entirely clear. So now it's Walsh's turn. I think she's looking to split the rings. She should also hit the back red out. And that way there'd only be one red in play. And although it'd be hard to get rid of either, it'd be hard to get rid of that red that the broom is next to. So it definitely appears that Walsh is going to try and split the rings and draw to the left side of the house from this view. Or the right side of the house from this view. And the first of 2 skip stones from Sarah Walsh are away. They want to keep it, I think, fairly high, but be second shot or shot. I got 14.5 on that, so that's going to be pretty close to T line. A little, pretty darn close to T. So now it's shot, and now Julliard has to make a play on it. It's fairly conventional wisdom that you go after stones that are counting against you. You can ignore it for a little while, but if you ignore it for too long, it can be disastrous. Be disastrous. So Lindsay Julliard is set in the hack. I think looking to hit the yellow shot stone in the top 4 foot. Sweepers were walking now. They're pushing to hold the line. This is pretty good actually. Hits the red, kisses the yellow, and rolls through the house out of play. And so now I think it's even more of a question of whose shots. It might come down to a measure, because it looks pretty yellow from this over the shoulder view, but cameras can be deceiving, just like Decepticons from Transformers. So I think Walsh is going to try and split the rings again, put up a second rock. She's kind of gesturing to the back 8, back 4 area, and that's kind of counter to what you would normally do. You would try and keep it high so then the other team can't draw to the center of the house. However, in this case, she doesn't want to set up a double and give Julliard an opportunity to score multiple points. So as you see in the background here, you can see the clocks counting down the time. Walsh's clock is yellow, Julliard's team is red, corresponding with the stone colors. It looks like Julliard has a decent amount of time. Walsh is getting a little tight, but it's not a deal breaker. They are going to have to play the next 2 ends pretty quickly if it does come down to that, because you would normally expect to play an end as quickly as 3 minutes, and if you need more time to think, a little bit more than about 3.5 minutes. So this draw to the back 4 area. Sweepers are just cleaning. It's pretty close. Now they're digging in, hoping to finish it. It's going to be perhaps a little lighter than was called for by the skip, as it ends up in the top 4 near the tee line. It's pretty thin though compared to the other yellow that could be shot stone, and so I think Julliard's going to take it on. Looks like they're set up for a double, hoping to hit the inside of the shot yellow and then spin back to the right. And they only need to push that second yellow 2 inches at most to get possibly 2 points. Julliard shots away. Looking to get rid of 1 yellow, maybe 2. Push the second yellow back. There's 1. The red rolls towards the 4 foot and is 1 point for Julliard. At least I believe so. They didn't take a second look at the second and third rocks, so I do believe they thought that the Walsh yellow was second shot. So we'll take that, put it in the bank, and we'll be back with the 7th of 8 possible ends of regulation in just a moment when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. So taking a quick look around the rings, it does appear that all these games are going the distance. All 3 women's games on the sheets. On sheet B, Team Hashi from Hollywood is taking on Team Grove from Coyotes. They are all square through 6. And it looks like they're about to wrap up the... well, they're in the middle of the 7th end. I don't know how far they are. So that's a close battle. Sheet C, we're watching that right now. It is our feature game. And it looks like Julliard's putting up a center guard. It's crossing over the center line. Is actually going to go over past the center line and still be a center guard, but will not benefit from the no-tick rule. On sheet D, we have Team Feldman from Wine Country taking on Team Blasky from San Francisco Bay Area. And Feldman has been... So she didn't score in the first end, but it's been all Feldman since. It is currently 5-1 in the 6th end. And they are pretty tight on time, I think, on sheet D. Not the worst amount of time, but it's pretty tight. Both teams have under 10 minutes with over 2 ends left to play if the game does go the distance. So the next stone coming from Cassie Endicott. Calling for some sweeping. It's going to be on the guard. And won't really push the guard anywhere. Pushes about a foot closer to the house. So Amy's second stone here. I think they're looking to draw around those center guards that were put up. Actually, they're going to go around their corner guard. But it is a little heavy, and it's going to go to the back of the house and light out of play. As the kids say, she gone. Because kids say that all the time.
That just makes my fucking hero shot even better, you know?
What I liked was the video that you sent me.
Here's Erin's first. I think she's going to try and draw around the center guards. And this looks pretty good from Erin Evans. It's really well buried. I don't even think you can get a piece of it. And it looks like Walsh is going to try and clear the guards. This is Megan Armstrong. Going to get one. Is it going to get two? It pushes the second red into the house, and there it stays just behind the tee line. So a slight miss, perhaps. You don't want to promote the opponent's stone into the house if you can avoid it. So Team Julliard is going to try and put up another guard, but this is going to be a little high, but it does get over the hog line, so it is not pulled from play. And so Walsh is back to work to try and clear out the reds that are in the house. Walsh is not calling the sweepers. It needs to come back a lot, and it's not going to. So a missed opportunity there for Team Walsh. It's Julliard sitting the 2 here in the 7th end.
Everybody on TikTok is using that voice. Where do you draw it? Is that just part of like the TikTok? Sure. Or is it pushing a boundary? But he's had a few instances like that. He hasn't talked about exactly which ones. He's kind of paid out like who uses that with his thread and the lawsuits. Yeah.
The stone coming from Team Julliard puts up another center guard. Amps up the pressure against Team Walsh. I think peeling the guard is still perhaps the best option. They're looking at drawing, which is plausible.
That's why I did advocate about you tell David
This is also a very critical shot, and it does over curl. It's going to be on the guard.
And now you're flying two coaches
So the rocks that are curling towards the center of the ice house between sheets B and C, those seem to be falling closer to the center for some reason. It's interesting. So Julliard's looking to draw around the high yellow guard. It's centerish. This is looking pretty good in terms of the line. It's slowing down a bit, and it's just going to kind of nibble on the edge there. So the guard may have been what they had in mind all along. The final stone coming from Kimberly Chapin. And they're trying to draw on the right side. Wade was pretty good. The line was a little wide for what they're trying to do. So now we're looking at stip stones. First of two coming from Lindsay Julliard. And so I think they're going to try the draw, or if it's a short, it's a guard. Actually, I think they're going to make a play on the yellow that's in the house, just based on the weight that was thrown. It's going to hit the yellow, and the red is going to stick around. So now Julliard's sitting 3, amping up the pressure on Team Walsh and their skip, Sarah. So Walsh is going to try that draw again. Now there's there's some backing for Walsh to draw to. So again, Julliard made her shot, but it gives an opportunity for Walsh to get out of here, force Julliard to maybe 1, or potentially steal, depending on how things end up. This is Walsh's first. It's going to come up a little light and wreck on the guard. So not the outcome they were looking for. And so Julliard holding 3 in the hand is, I think, looking to either close the door or maybe tap one of the reds further into the house. As it stands right now, if the end concluded right now, Julliard would be tied with Walsh. So Julliard took a look from the other end of the sheet and is now changing her mind, looking to hit and roll off of the lone yellow that's in the 12-foot edge there. That 12-foot edge. So looking to take out the yellow and roll towards the center. This is Lindsay Julliard with her first. Or her second. It's her second. So that was not as bad as it could have been. It's Walsh that has the hammer. I got confused. However, Walsh does have the escape hatch, the escape clause, as it were. We're coming to theaters this Christmas. Here is Sarah Walsh's last. Needs to be full 4 foot to count. Or if it's even biting the 4 foot, it cuts the Julliard stones down. And this is going to be pretty close. They're finishing it so they can put it right on the button. And so that was a good force there from Julliard to force Walsh to the single point. And that was the 7th end. We're now in the 8th end. I've lost all sense of time. I apologize. But speaking of time, we're going to be back on the air tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., bright and early, for more curling coverage. The first of 4 games brought to you on the MoPac YouTube channel. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We're back with the final end of regulation for the MoPac After Dark draw, featuring Team Walsh taking on Team Julliard from Coyotes.
This is my typical
Walsh started off with a center line guard. Looks like it's on the line, so it will be protected by the no-tick rule.
If I were John Madden, that would have been
And the first Julliard stone was light. It was hogged, so now Walsh has an opportunity to put another rock in play, looking to come into the rings in the top of the 12-foot. As we see the last stone for the game coming from Amy Verway Cohen. This rock is also perhaps a little light. It's going to be another center guard on the center line, protecting the or guarded by the no-tick rule. And people might ask, why do we have a no-tick rule? And that's a great question, imaginary person. I'm making up for the purposes of this illustration. It's become more commonplace for top-level curlers to be able to kind of hit the side of the stone, to tick the stone to the side of the sheet, but not remove it entirely from play. So the no-tick rule is envisioned to try to generate some more offense by making it hard to remove the center line guard and making it easier for people to draw into the house and to hopefully score more points. And that's why we have it. I hope that answers your question, imaginary person, who I shall name Blake. Second Julliard stone does not hog. It is a tie corner guard, as Megan Armstrong makes her first here in the 8th. This looks pretty good if it sits down in time. Julliard's sweeping is going to get to the back of the house, and it's going to be nibbling. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Still in play. We'll see if it remains in play at the end of the round. You can see Julliard with the clock here, just over 6.5 minutes remaining to finish throwing 5 stones. And Walsh is in a similar position, but they have half that time, 3 minutes, 13 seconds. So, ooh, that was pretty good there from Julliard. Right on the lid. So, in order to tie the game, Julliard needs 4-5 to win. It's not impossible, but starting the next couple stones, every shot needs to count. Just like vaccinations. So Walsh is looking to draw around. Some encouragement from the warm room. I believe for the Sheet B game, the Hollywood contingent is watching the Team Hashi take on Team Grow. Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm getting my information correct. So Julliard is looking to draw around on the right side, it looks like. If it's probably want to keep it a little, well, they need rocks in play. So I don't know if they want to keep it high or if they want to go into the house now. And it looks like they're going to go into the house. Ooh, pretty good there. Second shot, a possible 2 of a 4 points they need to tie.
Wow, Connor.
And this is the first rock coming from Kimberly Chapin. And I think they're looking to just draw around sit second shot. This is coming up a little light. It's going to be more of a guard when it ends. And it actually crashes on one of the center line guards. So now Julliard's wasting no time putting another rock into the house. As we see the first stone coming from third, Lydia Andre for Team Julliard. In a similar situation, they need 4 to score, 5 to win. They're halfway there. Are they going to get the other 2 or 3 stones they need? This one is looking pretty good, although it does sit just behind the tee line, and so now Walsh could draw right to it, depending on how confident Sarah Walsh is of her team to throw these draws. The line looks pretty good, but I don't know if the weight is there. Needs every inch. It's going to curl into tight guard position, actually nibbling the top of the 12-foot. So, not the worst outcome, but again, Julliard sitting 3. I missed when the third one came in. So again, they need 4 to tie, 5 to win. They have they're 75% of the way to their goal. So Julliard's looking to have her third. I think just put up a guard, just based on how the speed is going down the ice and the path of the stone. So Team Walsh is gathering to talk about their shots. They don't have a ton of time left, but they did call their timeout. Teams have 90 total seconds. That includes 30 seconds of travel time for the coach to get to the ice if a team has a coach. If there is no coach, that time is still available to the team calling the timeout. And they just called the timeout, I think, to kind of stop the clock and give themselves more time to get their shot set. Looks like they're going to try and draw to the 4-foot. And this is a shot that Sarah Walsh has had in her back pocket all day today. Let's see if she has 1 or 2 more in her, like Gatorade. Needs to be around the guards. The last couple draws have been light for Team Walsh, and so they need to make sure it has enough weight to get there and stop. They probably want to keep it high. They don't want to go to the back and give Julliard a target to aim at. This does go to the back 4-foot behind the tee line, so it does give Julliard a target, but she's ignoring it, opting to draw. So that last shot did cut Julliard down to 2 shots. And so again, needing 4 to tie, 5 to win. I don't know, like based on where Julliard pointed the broom, I think she's ignoring, but I would go after it. Although it does give Walsh the opportunity to put another one in front of Julliard Stone. So maybe that's the thinking there. This shot needs to count to have a chance to stay alive. Lindsay Julliard shaking her head. Just one shake of her head. And it's going to be a little deep. It's going to go to the back. And they are going to play on, it appears. But the chances of Team Julliard to get that 4 to tie are very slim now, but it's not out of the picture entirely. So Sarah Walsh makes her way down the sheet. Just as a reminder, this is a women's round robin play. We have 7 teams in the field, and so each women's team is going to face 6 opponents. And so we're definitely going to see these teams on the ice again over the next 2 days, and hopefully they'll make it into the Sunday playoffs. So Sarah Walsh looking to just close the door here. Even if it's short, as long as it's on a good line, would be a good outcome for Team Walsh. As the stone makes its way down the ice, it is over curling. Even if they wick off of the yellow and roll towards the edge a little bit, it's not a bad outcome. All right, so now the question is, how does Team Julliard get 4 out of this? They're sitting 2. They have they're sitting 1, 2, and 4. But there's a pesky Walsh rock that is third shot, and it's protected. If they were able to get rid of that Walsh third stone, they could get the 4 spot. But how did they do that? Looks like they're going to try and attack it from the left side. And the level of difficulty is high. Let's just put it that way. They're going to need to throw the rock with enough energy to get 3 stones moving. But also it needs to curl around some of the clutter that's in the front of the house. Here we go. This is the last chance for Lindsay Julliard. Sweepers are just cleaning, walking with it. Looks like it's going to wreck on the high guard there. And that's going to be it. Julliard gets 2, but it's not enough as Walsh takes the win. The teams exchange handshakes or fist bumps as they wrap up play. Definitely Julliard gave a lot of fights, but Walsh's early lead was too much to overcome for Team Julliard. So that was a that was a Donnybrook of a game. And just as a reminder, tomorrow we're going to start our coverage at 9 a.m. with Team Barajas taking on Team McBride. Subsequent games will be at 12:30, 4:30, and 8. So we hope you'll tune in to catch us. Before we go, I want to recap some of the other games. On sheets B, Team Bro came from behind, or broke the tie. It was a tie, I believe. She came from behind, pardon me. Scored a 3 spot in the 8th to win 8-6. As there's some round of applause for Team Walsh as they come off the ice. Sheet C, again, is our feature sheet. We just saw Walsh hold on for the win there. 7-6, the final. Oh, did they give? Oh, was I not counting correctly? 7-6. Let's I'll go with the official score. So, and then on sheet D, that is still in action. Team Blasty is holding on to a 6-5 lead And you know what? I'm gonna go and do the around the rings coverage, and let's watch the last rocks of that game, because why not? Do some more MoPac after dark here. As long as I get the camera set up correctly, it's been the bane of my existence today. All right. So we're going to switch over to sheet D and see what's going on. There's going to be some shaky cam, but we'll be right back. And let me check the volume. Okay. Sound is off. So looking at sheet D, we have Team Feldman from Wine Country taking on Team Blasty from San Francisco Curling Club. Looks like Blasty's team just threw their rock, and we're going to see what Team Feldman has in store. I might need to let the one of the ice officials by. I'm going to get closer here. So Blasty's throwing the yellow rocks, and they're sitting 2 right now, and they have a 1-point lead. So Feldman needs to get into the house with at least 1 to keep the game going. And just my luck and the luck of the audience, if Feldman scores 1 as a tie, we get an extra end. So who doesn't love bonus curling? So it looks like Blasty wants to kind of cover the 2 stones that are counting in the house. If you need me to move, I'll move. Okay. So based on where Blasty has the broom, they want to put up a guard close to the center line. And so this is going to go the bumps and rolls. The warm room gallery, calling the shots, looking at where the stones might go. Feldman's looking to try and open it up. They could get 2 of the stones moving based on how much weight they throw. And so here comes the shot. Lots of weights. How many stones is it going to move? It wrecks on one of the reds, unfortunately. So unfortunately, I think a bit of a miss, as we're now in the 3rd stones. Who has hammer? Okay, interesting. Thank you. So Feldman does have the hammer, but they need to find a way to get to the button. Needs a point to tie to win. As Blasty is up 6-5 here in the 8th end. So Blasty's looking for another guard just to keep clogging up the draw pad to the front of the house. Calling for a vigorous sweep there. It's over the line. So Feldman has 4 rocks remaining, the Vices stones, and we're going to see how much granite can fly with this next rock here. Basically, getting rid of 1 or 2 of these rocks is going to help out a lot. And just rid of 1. And so now Blasty's every brick that Feldman loosens, Blasty wants to close down again. So looking for another guard. The rock placement's the most important part. Looking for center line, kind of near that red, and that's on the money. So there's a couple ways that Feldman could perhaps get to the house without clearing the guards. I was thinking about a double, but the rock on the right side, about 1 o'clock on the edge of the house, it's a bit high up, so it might be hard to do a run back. And so Team Feldman's Vice is going to, again, try and get some rocks moving out of the way. Runs the reds through the house out of play. And so now we're down to skip stones here. And just looking to kind of, again, keep blocking draw paths and make it next to impossible for Feldman to score. Blasty is sitting 2 without the hammer, up 1 here in the 8th end. Feldman down 1, needs to score 1 to tie, 2 to win. And here is Claire Blasty's first of 2 skip stones here in the 8th end. Calling for a sweep. Weight looks a little up. If it stays high, it's not too bad. But this could end up. Weight's not too bad actually. It does hit one of the yellows in the house, one of Blasty's own stones, and pushes it closer to the center. But doesn't open up any path really. There is a bit of a path actually on that left side, perhaps. Team Feldman has 2 minutes 20 seconds to finish 2 shots. Both teams have used their timeouts. And so Feldman's looking at, I think, draw on the other side. And the challenge is pretty great because Blasty's shot stone is on the top of the button. So she would, Feldman would need to be full button or close to it, or get a bigger chunk of the button to score. So that's a tall ask for Katie Feldman, the skip of this Wine Country Curling Club team.
If I could walk the stones down.
This weight looks a little up, but I don't know how it's playing against the wall. It's slowing down a little bit. So she was trying to, I think she wanted to be a little light, so she's trying to do an angle ray or an angle in off. And so that went a little deeper than she wanted. And unfortunately, I would probably count that as a miss. Blasky is going to close that path off, which wouldn't be great for Feldman, but again, I think it's possible to maybe get to the shot stone on the left side. We'll just have to see how the skip calls the game.
Can you go red, yellow, yellow, split them off that way?
Yellow on left and center. Well, hit it straight in the nose. If this catch a PCL like jackers.
So just looking at the overhead, I think, trying to do a gentle takeout weight on the left side, I don't know if that's there anymore because Feldman Stone is in a position that could jam, like the yellow could jam on the red. So we'll see what happens. And of course, I might be just seeing things that aren't on the ice. Blasky is just going to put up a guard, I believe, just to prevent that path from Feldman to use the path that Feldman just threw. Some people are saying that there's a potential slash double for Feldman. This weight looks really good. It needs to sit down, but it looks like it's going to in the 2 guard zone. And Feldman has 90 seconds to finish her last shot. And again, I think they're just looking to wick off that yellow. But I don't know if the shooter's going to stick around either. That makes it even more difficult.
Straight back and then chip. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, people in the warm room were being very aggressive in their shot calling, but that's why we're in here and they're out there. So this is, for all the marbles, it needs to be there. I think she's going to throw a little bit up weight. I don't know if it's there. And it's not going to, I don't think it's going to be there, so. So they tried it from the right side, and it wasn't there, but it was a good effort from Katie Feldman as it's handshakes between the two teams. Team Blasky wins their second game of this event. More curling to come, and we're going to wrap things up in just a moment when I get back to my seats. Ooh.
Yeah, that. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Love it. Get it.
So that's going to do it for our coverage of tonight's game. Just another quick reminder that our coverage is presented by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is operated by Ken Pomeroy, where he compiles statistics from the top curling matches and ranks the world's curling teams. So if you want to see how your team is doing, to see how they might compare against others, see how they might compare against others in head-to-head matchups, that's all on DoubleTakeout.com. And we definitely appreciate Ken's sponsorship of this event and competitions for MoPac. So we're going to wrap things up for tonight. Again, we're going to see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We do hope you'll join us. For all of us here at MoPac, Coyotes Curling Club, DoubleTakeout.com, this is your host, Ryan, saying good night, good curling, and I will see you bright and early Friday morning. Bye for now.